Happy New Year. Hi, everybody. Good evening to this 2022 Streamathon brought to you by Lori Paintgirl. And what a wonderful Streamathon it has been. Amazing. And thank you all for being here. And I'm going to turn on my YouTube so I can see. I'm watching on StreamYard and I have YouTube on my iPad. And we know that there's always a drag. So since this is basically my only stream this week, kind of maybe, I'm going to start out by reading a passage from our good friend, Robert Fulghum, from All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Again, all of these are essays that he's written over the years. And I haven't really come across a bad one. So let me quickly say hi to everybody. But first of all, I want to say hi to my crafting partner in crime. Carol is here for my moral support. You never can go wrong when you have a friend for moral support. So everyone say hey to Carol, who's here.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Thanks for having me, Ann.
Oh, always.
And it is a pleasure. You know, we do have a lot of fun.
Yes, we do. Yep, we have kind of formed a partnership that has been a lot of fun for both of us, and I have learned so much from Carol. So let me just quickly say, oh my God! I mean, I've been watching these streams all day long. I've been watching the people coming in and watching the chat go flying by, and I don't know. I kind of never really expected that here, but it's happening. So a big hello to everybody. And I see Mary Lou and Elvis and Beth and Shannon and Janet Baum, who is the bomb when it comes to being a mod. And of course, Carol and Amber and Martha seeking for art. Hello and welcome. And so happy that you're all here. Lisa, great to see you, and Glenda, and Gail AC, and CB, and Andrea. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Leslie, there you are. Renee, awesome. Kathy Arbour, wonderful stream. Oh my gosh, I love looking at your journals and stuff. I could, hours doing that. And Lori, again, thank you for just an incredible job. I hope you had some quality time with your littles and your family. I love that term when you say littles for your grandkids. I think that's just a great term. And Arlene, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, typing, yeah, I can see where that would be a problem. Rachel, good evening. And Artcurious by MNW. I know you have a name, but I don't remember. Aunt Beck, good evening. I'm glad you're under the covers and warm and comfy. I watch a lot of streams under the covers. Shaz, yes. Jasper, so glad that you're here also. Okay. Yeah, I had to give, speaking about calming the cats, they excuse my French, but the assholes started shooting off fireworks at about 6:30 and scared the crap out of my cat. Hi, Barbara. And I have some calming down medicine for her that I didn't think to give her. Duh. So I gave it to her. And now she's zonked out underneath the Christmas tree. And of course, the fireworks have stopped. So she's kind of doped up. So hopefully, there won't be any more fireworks. So I don't recall fireworks at New Year's Eve, but I lived up, south of Buffalo, and nobody was stupid enough to go outside in sub-degree weather to shoot fireworks off, or at least I don't recall that. Anyway, so cheers to the New Year's, and I'm having a Tito's with my jalapeno stuffed olives.
And I've got a glass of water and allergy meds. Woohoo! Let's bring in the new year.
And there is my son, Lahr, has arrived. Hi.
Hey, hi.
So nice to see you. He said he was going to come and say hey, so here he is. Oh, you're saying you were outside shooting off fireworks when we lived outside of Buffalo? That's what he's saying. I was. Well, that's possible. So welcome. There's my number one son, and he is my WoW partner. Dave and I play World of Warcraft together once a week. And yeah, we lived through a lot of wicked winters. We were talking about scary. We were talking about scary movies, and I don't know whether you remember this day, but we were watching The Shining during a blizzard, and you were sitting on one end of the sofa, and I was sitting on the other end of the sofa. And by the time the movie was over, we were like stuck to one another. We were so like, oh my gosh, this was so scary. So, all right, I'm gonna read from my selection from All I Ever Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. So many of you take a memory lane, a walk down a memory lane and think about kindergarten. I have some interesting memories about kindergarten. I don't know about you. The name of this passage is Clucky Lucky. Help prevent tectonic plate movement. And I thought of Barbara Clark when I started to read this. She'll know what I mean. Message on the t-shirt worn by the man standing beside me in line waiting for the Powell Street cable car in San Francisco. A tourist. He's wearing the required silly shirt. His wife's shirt says, "Hello, I'm an idiot from Wisconsin. Please help me." This I could comprehend, but her husband's stand on tectonic plates was Jabberwocky. Okay, say I, tell me about your shirt. Driving west from Wisconsin, he had tried to explain the landscape to his children, but they wouldn't buy the theory of tectonic plate movement. No way was a huge chunk of the continent floating around on lava and pushing up against the United States and making volcanoes, earthquakes, and mountains as it slid under us. Dad was hooted this silence into silence by the children's raspberries of disbelief. His wife discovered the t-shirt in a kitschy souvenir shop in Reno. He wore it as a hair shirt of humility. The determined skepticism of the young makes fierce and uncompromising adversaries. His kids don't believe half of what he says anyway. He and I reflected on science and fatherhood. We concurred that it is the burdensome duty of adults to profess knowledge unconfirmed by direct experience. All that deep stuff you learn while growing up, you learn it, but you don't really believe it. We swapped examples. For openers, you're told how babies are made. Unbelievable. No way. Almost as incredible as learning the earth will fall into the sun someday. How about being told that algebra has a use in the real world outside school? Ha! And the ice age has to be a hoax. Half of North America covered with glaciers, 1,000 feet of ice over Wisconsin? Never. Split brain theory is another Lulu. Words in one half of your head and music in another? Come on. And how about black holes in space, quasars, and quarks? Oh, sure, you go around pretending that you are up to date on this theoretical stuff, but in your heart, you know a lot of it must be dreamed up by scientists bent upon upsetting us civilians. Based on personal experience, some of this hoo-wah information does compute, combining several theories already mentioned. I am certain that the two halves of my brain have slid apart, leaving a black hole in the middle caused by the algebra quark. Believe it. The whole time wonko idea is that birds are dinosaurs, direct descendants right out of the Jurassic jungle. Oh, sure. However, fossil evidence of feathered dinosaurs really exists. And furthermore, I know of a fowl that is living proof of this hypothesis. Clucky Lucky, the cannibal chicken of San Luis Obispo, California. One Easter weekend, somebody's present of a baby chicken got loose and wound up in the backyard of a pet crazy family, friends of mine. They raised her as Clucky Lucky, the nomad chickette that grew up to be a substantial lady chicken of the Rhode Island variety, cute as chickens go. But in her mature years, Clucky Lucky had grown unusually large for her breed and began to wander the neighborhood. She terrorized cats and ate their food. She assaulted dogs and chased people who annoyed her. And when she began laying rancid smelling eggs and began coming home in what was a distinctly inebriated condition, a veterinarian was consulted. Investigation proved the chicken had been eating cat food made out of chicken parts, and she was drinking beer out of the taps set to kill slugs. Alas, Clucky Lucky had become an alcoholic cannibal. I have seen photographs of this chicken, scaly legs with clawed feet, razor sharp black beak, yellow eyes that seemed to shine with an ancient fierceness. Blow this bird up to the size of a water buffalo, and you've got a dinosaur. It's logical, too. If birds are dinosaurs and chickens are birds, then chickens are dinosaurs. Or if B equals D and C equals B and then C equals D, finally, a use for algebra. I explained all of this to my colleague as we rattled along on the cable car. When he and his family dismounted, I heard his wife say as she walked away, "Not all idiots are from Wisconsin. Never mind, lady, I know what I know, and I'll never turn my back on a chicken again." So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a pretty funny one. And again, science and teutonic plates and all of that. Again, another really good essay from my friend Robert Foldrum, who, when I was reading out of his other book, you know what he said in the introductory essay? He said, "Show and tell, meaning go forth and read and share my words." So, all right. So what I hope to do today is wrap up things that are not done. And I thought the very first thing I had to start with was my Christmas December daily, because it is, Barb's saying I'm the wife about the story. It's December 31st, so I have until, I guess, midnight tonight to finish this up. So again, I learned this from Shelley, Crafting Mamas. She was the first person I ever saw take a magazine and fold it this way, the vertical way. I'd never seen anyone do that before. And this is a Magnolia journal from what's her name? Chip and whatever her name is on Home TV Network magazine. Anyway, and this was their last year's Christmas magazine, and it had already a lot of Christmas stuff in it. Like this was a page. So I started kind of putting things in about December, and I had some things I thought were interesting. Believe in unearthing beauty, however hidden or subtle it might be. This is a receipt I took my friends out to dinner. That was December 1st. This was in the magazine. I bought a Christmas wreath and I took a picture of it. It's on my front door and it's still out there. And when I open the front door, I can still smell the evergreen pine from it. Have to have the red truck. And then I came across this. How can you approach each day open to the unexpected? And this picture came out of a local newspaper. And I said I streamed on Carol's channel with Becky. And here's a bunch of Santa Clauses running a marathon. So this is kind of how it goes until I start, cutting up Christmas cards and such. Well, I had an LL Bean Christmas ad from a catalog. this actually was a picture in the magazine, and I had these little pictures of cardinals that I cut out and stuck them in there. So that was just a natural. And here's another picture, and this was a picture out of the magazine. Here is the red pickup truck. If anybody has gone on my Facebook page, you'll see that I have built a red pickup truck out of Legos that looks just like this, which was a bitch to build, just saying. And then just some other kind of stuff, pictures, LL Bean ads for beanies and the hats. And then the Christmas cards started coming in. This is Aunt Beck's Christmas card. And these are some other little Christmas cards that I cut up, stuck those in. Many of you have done these, and it's amazing. Every single one I've seen, they're all different. No two, I mean, they're different. These are bits and pieces that I've cut out of magazines, Christmas cards. And this is from the Postal Service's last year's Christmas catalog. And these are pictures of the postal stamps from last year's catalog. Some other little bits and pieces that I cut out and stuck in here again. Now the Christmas cards are starting to come in. Here's a Christmas card from Judy Patton, I do believe. And I don't remember. I glued it down. I apologize. And then I got some bits and pieces from, well, that's the next page. This is the Coca-Cola polar bears, napkins. I saved those from a flight from here to Utah one Christmas. And then I did a little pop-up, and I was inspired to do this pop-up by Janet Nash's. Actually, it was Elvis who was in Janet Nash's stream one night, and Janet Rosemary was putting together an Oriental part of her journal, and she had an Oriental woman that was popped up, and I think Elvis said, can you do other pop-ups? And I said that I would do that. And so ended up doing it in my Christmas journal. But these bits and pieces came out of a Happy Mail from Janet Nash. I'm sorry. This is a stamp that I made. Here's Nettie's. That came from the magazine. Here's some more pop-ups that I did. This card is from Journey, Malaya, and her beautiful girls. Again, you can just see that it's just bits and pieces. A Christmas card from my financial advisor. Beautiful Inspire from Beth. Beth, I know you're in. I hope you're still in here. I got your card back. It was sent back to me because the post office said there was insignificant address to deliver in the mail, but they had torn off your address. So I put it in an envelope and sent it on its way again. More polar bears. This is actually from the magazine itself. And here's another Christmas card. This is from Arlene. Another Christmas card from the magazine itself. And so I'm just going to add a few more things. This is from Mary Lou. This came from Mary Lou, and this came from Mary Lou, and this is a playing card. Oh, you got it today? Okay, all right, better late than never. And now I want to show you, just give me a second. I got a beautiful Christmas card from my son, Dave, but I obviously could not put it in the journal. There's no way that I could put this in my little journal. This is beautiful. Look at this. Look at this three-dimensional card. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I got to figure out how to do something like that. And this is from the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. But
that is really pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Dave and Alex. From Alex. Okay. Well, I know. I understand. I know. And so I'm going to stick some more stuff in here and hopefully try to read some.
Alex says they have great sales this time of year.
Oh, I bet you they do. Never thought about that. I'm sure everything's almost, yeah. I'm sure that you can go online and easily shop there.
Just giving credit where credit is due, he says.
Uh-huh. That's good. Smart man. Smart man. No doubt. So this is from another card, and I have that, this is the ACT coin size. It's Artisan Carol, Miss Allie. Carol, my Artisan Carol. I don't know any other.
She knows me as a different name.
Canadian.
She remembers me as Carol TMT from way back when.
Okay. All righty. All right.
Ustream days. Ustream days.
And we were talking about that. Many people were talking about that. I guess Shannon was talking about that. And I started watching Dee Dee when they were still on Ustream. How many years ago was that? And I followed them all the way over to YouTube. And we were talking. Yeah, Dee Dee's been a big part of my crafting journey. I can't deny. I mean, yeah.
Mine too, way back when.
Yeah. And I know
Long
Dee Dee's
time.
not here this year, but man,
she's inspired many, hasn't she?
Oh my gosh, the numbers are. I mean, there's no way. Man, yeah, I can't. There's no words to express the amount of inspiration that Dee Dee's, given me. Again, I never knew this world existed. And another person was Caged Fish. I stumbled on Caged Fish, and I saw her cut out magazines and start to do collages. And from that point on, I never looked at a magazine the same again. Never. Every time I picked up a magazine, I was looking at harvesting pictures and cutting up pictures and eventually gluing them somewhere. I didn't know that kind of stuff existed. And it was just a whole new world. And I have to say, Dee Dee, again, reiterated in her stream on, it must have been this Monday, when one of the people in the stream said to her, "Oh, you have so much talent." And Dee Dee said, "Yeah, but this represents 50 years of drawing and sketching and practicing. And it just doesn't happen overnight. And for many of us, including me, I get discouraged. And then I have to realize that it takes years and years and years of doing it and doing it over and over again to develop a level of skill. And for me, I give up too soon. I give up on myself too soon, and I go, oh, and then I walk away. I was telling Carol the other day, I came across a journal where I had done some sketches and drawing in 2016. And I'm looking at them in 2022, and I'm going, I did that. And I gave up. So don't give up on yourself. I guess that would be
the moral of the story.
Don't give up. And I have to say, people, that brings me up to, I know I'm rambling. My word for this year, my word for last year, I did come up with a word. My word for last year was hope. And I hoped everything would be better for everybody. Last year was tough. I lost actually two of my brothers last year. And, but my word for this year is believe. And I think I'm believing. I'm going to believe that it's going to be a better year, and I'm going to believe in myself. So if you're having doubts about yourself, just believe in yourself and believe it's going to be a better year. Not yet, Barb. I checked the mail today. but I will save a spot. I will.
And your son says goes for everything, not just crafting.
Yes, thank you. He's
You tell her. You tell her.
well, he's so right, because I have problem. Yeah, I can tell you stories about us playing WoW, and I can tell you how patient he has been. I was telling Alex's wife about his conversation when we're playing WoW. All you hear is mom, mom, stop, stop, mom, stop, mom, listen, listen, mom, look in the upper left corner, mom, look, no, no, yes, okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
He'll go, mom, your other right. No, mom, your other left. I have trouble.
Oh, I would love to be in a little corner watching.
It's hysterical. He is so patient, and I don't know why I can't get my left and right with my mouse right. And you go, mom, your character's running away. Where are you going, mom? You're going in the wrong direction. And,
says, my mom was building stuff when I was growing up, figuring it out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Dave. Yeah. I love Legos. I played Legos with them, and I'm still building Legos to this day. And I know that.
And she needs a glue gun to do them.
Oh, no. That's the evil woman. That's her right there, Dave. I told you about Carol. She told me to get out the glue gun. She told me to get out the glue gun. Yeah,
the evil one.
Yes, the evil one. She told me to get out the glue gun to glue that Ford freaking pickup truck together. Because when I look at it, I go to pick it up, and the rear fenders fall off. Lily walked by. Lily walked by it the other day, nudged it, and then the front bumper fell off.
Oh no! He said you did woodworking too, and he says, "Yikes!" to the glue gun.
Yeah, no, I mean any crafter would, any YouTuber, or any Lego person would absolutely have a fit if you brought out the glue gun. Yes, that's it. Aunt Bex, that wreath. Oh my gosh, that wreath! I have finally removed the pickup truck from under the Christmas tree and put it in a permanent location on a shelf in the guest room. And I don't even dare to pick it up and bring it out here because I don't know what's going to fall off of it. But there's a little wreath that goes with it. And oh, Lord, even the guy, there was a video of a guy putting the wreath together. There was no full video of anybody putting the truck together. But this guy is trying to put the wreath together, and it's falling apart in his hands. And he's putting it together, and it falls apart, and he puts it together, and it falls apart. I finally got it put together, and I just barely touch it. Yeah, Legos are awesome. I love Legos. They are a beautiful thing, and I hate to say that. It sounds awful when I say, "Gee, they're not as good as they used to be." That's just a horrible thing to say, and maybe it's me. I'm 73 years old putting together Legos. I don't know. They just don't seem to stick together as well. The pictures for the instructions don't seem to be as clear. Coming soon, gaming sessions with hand wide on this. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think so, Orlean.
There you go. And with glue guns, right?
Yeah, there you go. Right. Did you? Oh my gosh. I saw that, Diana, because my other son and grandsons, we went to Legoland in October, and that's where I bought the Ford pickup truck, and they had the Starry Night. I looked at it. It's beautiful. You're going to have a lot of it. Yeah, it's amazing. And the story about the person that designed it is really interesting. I guess there's a contest every year where people can, submit designs for Legos, and this person won the contest, and for the Starry Night, and they had it there in the Lego shop, and it was impressive. It's
She
all.
says she's got the light kit to go with it.
Oh yeah, I would have bought the light kit too. Yeah, you would have to do that. It's not as big as it's about yay big. I know that's yay. Isn't that a measurement? Yay and yay and
Yeah.
yay. It's beautiful. Yeah, they had it. They had it in the store. That Lego store was an interesting shopping experience because the several of the people working there, when you went up and asked them specific questions about Legos, they looked at you like you had two heads. They looked at you as if they didn't know what Legos were. And I said to the gal, I said, do you have any other vehicles? Because I found the Ford pickup and I was looking to see if they had any other cars. And she looked at me, well, gee, I don't know. I think they're just all over the store. But there was a section where they had a Ford, and I have a Volkswagen. I put together a Volkswagen. Hey, Violet, Happy New Year. So glad you made it here. Super.
Hi, Violet. Happy New Year.
Hi, Malia. Starry Nights and Speaks to Your Soul. It's pretty something. It's pretty special. And it's quite the investment, but you're going to have a blast putting it together. It's beautifully three-dimensional, and it's an incredible design. And that someone could look at Starry Nights and then imagine it as a Lego. I mean, just think about that for a minute. To make that transition from Van Gogh painting to a three-dimensional Lego kit. I mean, I think that's just mind-boggling. And I know Lina is going to be on later because she lives in Legoland. I mean, in Denmark, and which is Legoland as far as I'm concerned. It's the holy Mecca, right? Of Legoland is in Denmark. You can't get any more closer to Legos than Denmark. But the Legoland, I went to obviously the Legoland in Florida, and I guess there's a Legoland in California, right? Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna have to look that Lego set up. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely incredible. So I'm just pasting, and Carol is working on stuff. We thought we would just do the old finish up, and I have to save a page for Barbara.
Yeah, I'm just playing in my half a composition book because it's something I've started. So I figured I could just do a couple pages in there.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that. I was talking to Carol earlier about just taking an old-fashioned composition notebook and doing everything in it, journaling in it, painting in it, taking notes in it. And it's interesting. Carol is the one that was a while back was talking about the Commonplace book. And it's funny because I ran across an older video about the Commonplace book. And again, the guy was talking about the history of the Commonplace book, that it goes all the way back to like the 1600s. And this guy was talking about, and and the concept of it is kind of like a cross between Dee Dee's Society of Ideas book. It's kind of very similar to that. And in John Locke's day, the great philosopher John Locke, they had commonplace books, but they basically used them to keep track of their notes, their thoughts, and things that they pondered about, I guess. And it's an interesting concept that it's still around. And this guy was talking about setting up a commonplace book. It's not really a diary, it's a weird kind of concept of a note keeping.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
necessarily doesn't have to be on the same subject. It's just basically a place to jot down thoughts and
Thank you, Violet.
you know, I'm sure Da Vinci, had his commonplace. He had hundreds of notebooks where he drew, blueprints for helicopters and sewer systems for cities, ancient, cities in Rome. And he also drew up systems for defense and cannons. And well, I guess you all know what I'm doing, but I'm just putting down, I have some Christmas napkins and just putting them down a little Maji Podge, which is now wet. So that was probably not too smart. So fireworks are going off again. I didn't. I'll have to get out the glue gun. I mean, I spent. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. As always, the infamous Hottie Popo, also known as Susan. I spent Christmas up in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and I wanted to tell everybody that I saw snow. It actually snowed in Cape Canaveral, Florida for 5 minutes on Christmas morning. And my weather app on my phone actually had its a little alert, and it said, it's going to snow at 10:18 in Cape Canaveral. And it did. And then it stopped. I took a picture. Now, to be honest with you, it was more hail, but it was white and it looked like snow. So I'm gonna claim it snowed in Cape Canaveral in Florida on Christmas Day. So, yeah, we've got fireworks going on now. Lily just put her head up, so I guess she's really drugged out. I guess that stuff really works well. It's a human drug. It's a drug they give to humans, and I mentioned that in the stream. And a whole bunch of people in here have taken this drug, and they've had horrible reactions to it. I mean, Becky knew the name of it, and I can't remember of it. So let me. I'm going to get out my heat gun. Carol, can I make you big for a second while I get out my heat?
Yeah, you can make us both the same size if you want.
Okay. And I'm going to mute myself just for a minute.
So I hope everybody has been enjoying so much this stream-a-thon. I've been watching as much as I possibly can. Sometimes I'm not chatting, but I am there in the background rooting everybody on. And I just thought I would do a page and just give some support for Anne tonight. And hopefully that my allergy meds kick in for me. And besides, I do sound a little hoarse. I'm sorry about that. I'll try not to speak so low. But I thought I'd do a page, and I'm just gluing some things down. And what I've been thinking as I'm gluing this stuff down is change, the new year, from the old year to the new year. So I've been thinking, what can I do, and how is the change going to come about? And I thought, these dragonflies, and this came from Aunt Beck's, the napkins, and I thought, dragonflies, they're such a wonderful creature, and their wings are so beautiful, and they can bring in the winds of change for the new year, with all 22, 21, 20 all left behind us, and bring in something new for everybody for 2023, because we all need that positive change after so much of this world going through what it has gone through, and each and every one of you. So for 2023, we're looking for change, we're looking for positivity, and we're looking to uplift each other. So I do welcome each and every one of you here tonight.
Amen, sister. Sister. Yep. And believe in yourself, believe in one another, believe in what we have to share with one another, and hang out with one another. So I use a glue gun to glue that down. And I think I'm going to leave this. Maybe I'll put this guy here. And this is a babe bot, but it's a dispenser for glue that Aunt Bex enabled me to buy. And I think it was designed for, gluing wood together. And I have filled mine with a mixture of PVC, Elmer's glue, and a little glitter glue. So I have my own concoction here, and we'll see how that works. Hi, Shelley. Good to see you. If I didn't say hi, I know I'm not doing a real good job of looking at chat. It's so wonderful to see so many people in here. And all of the streamers have had unbelievable audiences. Just incredible numbers of people who have showed up to support all of the crafters from early this morning until tonight. And we have a whole session coming
tomorrow. Yeah.
And in the wee hours, we have all of our friends from across the pond who are going to pick up the slack. Miss Lina.
While all of us take a nap.
Miss Lina is going to be on at 3 a.m. our time, and Janet Nash, and a whole bunch of, and actually there's several new crafters that I'm not familiar with, who must be coming, in from Europe, because they're picking up the wee hours of our morning, which will be 6 hours later for them over across the pond. And that's just the most amazing thing, that we're literally going around the world. Like this, we have some, do we have any? I think we have some folks from Australia or New Zealand, I think. I'm not sure. Anybody? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the list right off.
No,
so.
I can't either. I know that.
But Anne does have the whole, don't you have the link, all those links in your description box?
I do.
So everything is there in Anne's description box.
And honestly, I never remembered to do that, but I did it.
That's good.
I think if you click on more.
Yep.
There should be
more.
There should be the list of the people that are coming on later. I think so. Vanessa, okay, you're live 12 noon Eastern. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate
it. And I'll be live tomorrow morning at 8:30, and we'll be back again.
Yay! Carol loves that early morning stuff.
I do.
I know.
I'm up past my bedtime, girl.
I know. I mean, that's Carol took a nap so she could stream with me, and so the least I can get up. We laugh about that. Carol's the one that got. It's all Carol's. She got me streaming at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. in the morning, and I never thought in a million years I would be streaming at 9 a.m. in the morning. Not only am I streaming at 9 a.m. in the morning, but it's Friday morning, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning. But the good thing about that is you've got the whole day ahead of you, and it kind of works. Good night, Jamie. I enjoyed your painting of that hat. That was just think about it. Who would take out a white baseball hat and paint it?
Oh, I know. I saw that. It was beautiful.
Jamie would. I mean, that was just incredible. And with all the glitter, oh my Lord, it was just beautiful. Unbelievable.
Good night, Jamie. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And everybody else that needs to go take a nap.
Yeah. Good night, Amber. Thanks for being here. All right.
Angie Brown's in the house.
Who? I missed it.
Angie. Hi, Angie.
Hi, Angie. Now, Angie is the best napper of anybody I've ever met.
Go to bed.
She is.
Go to bed.
She's got it down to a science. I'm very impressive. So glad you could be here for a little bit. I know it's been a pretty stressful couple of days for you, and I'm sorry for your loss in your family. And sorry for Janet's loss too. Around the holidays, it really is. Yeah, it's the pits.
Yeah, our hearts go out to each and every one that needs the thoughts tonight.
Mm-hmm. So these are little pieces of bits from magazines that I've collected and sticking in here just to make it Christmassy, and with a couple of, I got to stop though because I got to save room for Barbara's Christmas card. Now, Barbara, I know you said that you weren't sending Christmas cards, but if someone sent you a Christmas card, you would send them a Christmas card. So I said, okay, well, I was going to send you a Christmas card. Then it was the hunt for Barbara's address. It was nowhere to be had. I looked everywhere for Barbara's address. It wasn't in the 3 or 4 major, address books. Beth didn't have it. Fibibity didn't have it. Art of Sharing didn't have it. It was nowhere to be had. But Mary Lou had it. So you can thank Mary Lou for your Christmas card because Mary Lou had your address. And so I sent you a Christmas card. So I will stop on this page and I will leave space for your Christmas card. All right, I'm putting this away. And I was going to do some stenciling, but what I'm going to share with you now, be still your hearts, folks. I mean, literally, be still your hearts. I'm going to share with you my unfinished Bauhaus journal. I've been working on this for a long time, and then if you know what it's like to work on something for a long time and then you get so burnt out and you just don't know what to do, you put it aside and you just hope it'll go away, or you'll hope it finish itself. Well,
Good night, Becky.
Good night,
Becky's
Becky.
going to bed.
Okay, good night, Becky. Thanks for being here. So I put this aside and I was determined to bring it out tonight and to share it with you. It's massive. And what started my journey into Bauhaus, which was a German design movement, 1919 to 1933. I had bought a book about Bauhaus. I had never heard of it before. And many of you probably already know about Bauhaus. And it was a school or design theory about bringing art and technology together in the 1919 in Germany. And historically speaking, 1919 in Germany, they're at the cusp at the beginning of World War I, and it is dissolved in 1935. The Gestapo comes and shuts them down as Hitler comes to power. And in the midst of all of this chaos in the world, there's this group of artists and craftsmen that create this whole movement of design that entails painting, metalworking, weaving, wallpaper, uh, furniture, the folding chair, bringing art into bringing a typewriter, turning a typewriter into something that is beautiful. Uh, and So that's kind of like the Bauhaus movement. So I got this book and I've been looking at it, and it's just amazing stuff. Great. I mean, stuff that was kind of like avant garde, really way out there. And then I was at the Spectrum Arts Creations sale, and Samperia had put together uh, a Bauhaus scrapbook set. And I went crazy when I saw it. And I I bought everything. I overbought. I bought the 12 by 12, the 8 by 8, the 6 by 6. I bought the stamps. I bought the stencil. And then I thought, oh. And then the scrapbook papers were two-sided, so you can only use one side. So I had to go and I bought a second set of the 12 by 12 so I could cut it up. And then I was trying to find a place, some sort of journal to build for this. And I went to Victoria Designs, and there was a woman that was building this journal for something else. And I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was, but I decided to build that journal for the Bauhaus. So I'm going to share with you what I have built. So this is, and this, the substrate here is literally Cheez-It cracker boxes, and glued together. And it's, let me make room for it.
Uh-oh. I think she kicked herself out. So she made room for it. She will be back. She'll come back in and join us. She must have just hit a cord or her computer or something, but hopefully she sees that she's no longer live. I will message her. Oh my goodness, Anne.
I kicked myself out.
There you are. I know. I said you must have hit something.
Well, this journal is so big that I kicked myself out. So that's what I did. All right. So let me kind of give you a tour through this.
Oh my goodness.
That's why it's good to have a partner in crime.
Yes, we're still here.
Yes. All right. I'm going to do the middle part, and then I'll come back to the sides. So.
Yes, Marty, she's back. She's back. She's talking. You might have to refresh if something happened. Can you make yourself bigger and me smaller again so they can see your book?
Okay, that would make sense. All right, let me do this. Okay. How's that?
There you go.
All right, here we go. This is it. And I'm going to do the middle section first, and then I'll come back to these side sections. I mean, this thing is, again, I bought a lot of stuff, and this represents all of it. But this whole Bauhaus movement it just fascinated me. So this piece comes out of the middle here. You open this and bring this out. And then you open this. And this is all obviously their design. We are all masters in our field. The main gift of teaching is knowing how to share his art. The privilege of having a gift is knowing how to share it. These are all sayings and concepts that came out of the Bauhaus movement. And then after the Gestapo shut them down, because many of them were Jews, many of them immigrated to the United States. And ended up setting up shop here. The founder, Walter Graphaus, ended up teaching at Harvard's Graduate School of Design, and some of the many others ended up at Yale and several colleges throughout the United States. There were, metal workers, cabinet makers, weavers. There was a whole school of weaving, and it all grew out of this theory that all of these arts could come together and create art within the concept of mass production. Things that could be made at the mass production level, at a factory level. There's no reason why a factory could not create artistic pieces of furniture. Stacking tables, for instance, was a Bauhaus design. It just, the whole concept just kind of just blew my mind. So this kind of is art in everyday life, beautiful and useful. They look for the utilitarian purposes of art. That art could be have a utility purpose, and a good design turns the basic into a work of art. So this whole thing, these are the stamps I used, and this over here, and I have pockets everywhere. A tag. These are all tags that I made. This is all from the. These are design stamps. These are stamps from a Tim Holtz stamp set. Let me move this over here. Form ever follows function. Colorful, of my favorite color. Make it simple but significant. Depth of form. And the concept of less is more came from the Bauhaus movement. Some of this may be familiar to you. The beauty of the practical. So they had a ballet within this school. They created a ballet. There's less is more. Paul Klee was one of their instructors. Maybe some of you are familiar with Paul Klee's art. Vasily Kandinsky is also one of the famous artists that taught school there. So that's this middle section of this journal. And then you get in, this opens like this. This is just, this thing just will opens, and folders here. And this is part of the scrap kit. And I just cut them out and did them in black ink. And so these go in here. So I got one over here also.
And
yes.
Marty's mumbling, and she says, I will not be enabled. I will not be enabled. And then she mumbles, I will probably be enabled. I will probably be enabled. I will be.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marty. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just had to tell you.
I appreciate that. Marty, are you drinking? No, come on, Angie. I'm drinking. Stamperia. It's their fault. They put this together. And I just made this journal. And so this opens up this way, and you can't even see this, but there's I'll have to move it up that way. But and then this opens, it just keeps on. And I know there's a lot to look at, but they were into typography, fonts and lettering, and the whole movement is just incredible. Metal chairs, the Bauhaus design. These are some things that I have to put in. This is the Vasily Kandinsky chair. This goes here. I got some things that I cut out earlier. How many of you are familiar with the gooseneck lamp? The one that bends. It's been around forever. That's a Bauhaus design. They invented this lamp with the gooseneck that you could bend.
I use that every day.
Yeah, I mean, that's a design that's, I mean, yeah. There's some more. These are little pieces that,
A couple of people saying they still have one. Hi, Devon.
yeah, I mean, did you know it was Bauhaus? I didn't know it
No,
was.
I didn't.
No. The beauty of the most
I
basic.
knew it was vintage.
This is known as the Barcelona chair. It was all about design and function, art and function. Less is more. That was a big mantra. Less is more. Less is more. Hi, Sonia. Thank you for subbing. So appreciate you subbing.
Hi, Sonia. Oh, how are you? Yes, please do, everybody. Anne's, building her
Yep.
channel up as well. So please do, everybody, subscribe. And
I've got sub only, and I love using sub only. I only making you wait a minute, but it keeps all of the assholes out. And excuse me, but that's what they are. I just call a spade, and that's what they are. And we haven't seen any of them. And so I there's some flaps down here. Let's see if I can do this without. No, you don't need to see my Holy Trinity basketball T-shirt. This dress, this shift, this dress transcends everything. It's a design that's still around today. I mean, I don't know anything about fashion, but if that dress or that style of dress seems familiar to you, it was a Bauhaus. They had women involved in the movement, which was a rarity given this period of time. Am I over my time? What?
it's only 10:30.
Vanessa, pay attention. I go into what?
9:30
to 11:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Janet comes on at 11:30.
She's going to ring in the new year.
I was gonna say, not yet. We still have an hour.
I know, and I'm trying to slow down because.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrea said you don't need to see my Holy Trinity. I thought it was no, it's not. All right.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to find the pin for my glue.
You're looking at it upside down. Holy Trinity basketball. Okay. I taught at Holy Trinity Episcopal Academy for 19 years, and I was the official scorekeeper for every friggin' sport there. You name the sport, I was the scorekeeper. And I operated the scoreboard for the football too. So that's my Holy Trinity. And the only reward I got for keeping score was T-shirts. And oh man, man. And so here's some more Bauhaus stuff. Again, architecture, furniture, ballet. That was just bizarro ballet with these weird. I mean, This is Walter, the guy that founded Walter Grafhaus, that founded Bauhaus. He was an architect. And again, it's very sad but predictable that during Hitler's rise to power, that the Gestapo and Hitler would come in and go take one look at what was going on here and go, I don't think so. No, that's not happening here. And they were shut down and they moved on. But they built whole campuses, and the Seagram's building in Chicago was a Bauhaus design. Yeah, it is a fun. That's a good term for it, Devon. This is a major flippy. You haven't seen half of it, so hang in there, folks, for some more flippy. I'm gonna close this up and bring you over to this side of the flippy. This side of the flippy has a lot of pop-ups because I love pop-ups. A good design turns the basics into a work of art. I love this. This is Paul Klee. A line is a dot that went for a walk. Think about it. A line is a dot that went for a walk. I think that's so. Okay. So, we never have enough space, do we?
No, never.
Never. All right. So this is this side, the right.
Dan,
Yes.
your son says he's got to go. Have to say, when I would get scared in college or grad school of everything I was trying to learn, I would think about all the stuff my mom figured out and convince myself to keep trying. Good night.
Dave, you made me cry. I love you, bud.
Proud moment, son. Proud moment.
Yep. He is a good man. Oh.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you,
for stopping by. Made your mom's night.
Yeah, you did. See you tomorrow at 11:30 for wow. Wow. I'm sorry. Yeah, you never know. They don't say that to you when, you really,
No, they want to embarrass you, Mom.
No, I never thought about that. Yeah. Well, I told my kids once that, as soon as they're born, we're handed a manual at the hospital, and the title of the manual is How to Embarrass Your Kid. And they looked at me like, seriously? And I said, yes. I mean, there's a manual. There is a manual about how to embarrass kids, especially at the age of 10 to about 18? No, maybe 10 through 16 is the embarrassing years. And he was in. He asked me. He texted me early. He said, "Well, what are you doing New Year's Eve?" And I said, "Oh, well, I'm just in part of a worldwide streamathon that's been going on for 10 years." And he went, "Wow!" And I said, "Well, I'll be on at 9:30." And I said, "Why don't you stop in and say hi?" So he and his wife both stopped in.
That was special. That was very special.
He works in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they have a duplex in Watertown, and they have a home in Cape Cod. So the home in Cape Cod is where they spend their weekends. And so here's some more of the Bauhaus designs. I mean, practical stuff: coffee pots, percolators, teapots. This is Annie Arbour, who was the head of the weaving department, and she did beautiful. Oh my gosh, gorgeous! Oh, Carol, you should see the fabric stuff that she did. Oh. Beautiful fabrics.
We're gonna have to go on a rabbit trail, are we?
Yeah. I have some other pictures in the other book I can show you, but this is kind of pops up a little bit. It's kind of lost its pop. But this pops up a little bit. Again, it's been folded up for a while. You can see, I'm looking in the thing. It's got some dimension. Yeah.
Devon Ann has a wealth of information. Well,
I don't know how useful it is, but yeah. Now look at this. Are you ready? Dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 da.
I love that.
Isn't that cool? Again, this Stamperia set had all of these bits and pieces. I mean, and this journal that I built is from Victoria Designs, and it was for a kit, and this woman is the one that designed this journal, and I just basically built off that and put the Bauhaus stuff. Here's that. You can't see it. Here's that dress, the Bauhaus dress. And I don't know if you can see it here, but this is Audrey Hepburn. Audrey
had one of those way back when.
mean, this is classic, but this was from this movement, 1919 to 1933 in Germany. And then they were shut down by the Gestapo and the Nazi regime. And then many of them, again, immigrated to the United States. And a lot of this stuff is, we don't, I mean, I look at stuff and I don't think about the design or who, but someone designs this, and their thing was basically functionality and art. They thought that the two could be brought together, that there should be art in furniture. And I mean, not to say that this concept wasn't around when you look at the beautiful like Victorian furniture and all of that, but this was more of a utilitarian kind of square cut lines and very avant-garde-ish. And again, here's Walter. He was the founder, and you can see examples of the topography. And again, these they're slit. I could have more stuff in here. And then I made my own Bauhaus chair here. And I made some of my own paper using the Bauhaus colors, basic blue, yellow, and red, and numbers. Okay. And that's this side of this monstrosity. Whoops. Get back in there. And that goes here. And then I'll bring this over here. See, we're there. Okay, got it. All right. Whoops. I gotta go this way. And they created this ballet in the school, and with these outlandish costumes. And this guy needs to be glued down. This is Paul Klee with his. Paul Klee had a pet cat. Janet, I have my book already. Oh, good. All right. I'm glad. I was going to make my scavenger hunt book tonight. And I didn't because I figured other people might be doing it. And Janet might be doing that. So I will be making my book. Here is a tag. Again, don't buy. I mean, I bought too much of this and there's no way I can use all of it. So I ended up making, I'm sorry for the glare. I don't think I can do anything about that. No. Yeah. Whoa. All right. On this side, I made 2 pull-out journals and added more pictures, graph paper. And then, when I'm in, I go all in, folks. And, if I can find, the old Crafting Dilemma. Where is it? I had it and now it's gone. I bought the Paul Klee's textbook. The book that he used to teach his class. And it's bright yellow, and I can't find it. And you all know how annoying that is, right? When you cannot find that.
Yes, it's in that special spot.
Oh, shit. It's bright yellow. It is freaking like. Watch your language, Anne. Watch your language. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, gosh. This is Paul Klee's Pedagogical Sketchbook. This was the textbook that they used to teach the rudimentary classes that the students had to take before they specialized and that's it. These exercises, draw squares, triangles. So I copied a lot of this. Dimensions, 1 point, perspective. This was the textbook that he taught from. What is the relationship of muscle to bone? I mean, this is like really, that's what that was the class. So I copied a lot of those pages to put into these journals. So, and then I was trying to do a little Bauhaus, papers of my own, tags, covering envelopes in these are reused, recycled envelopes covered in Bauhaus stuff, a la Joey. And here's some of my own kind of attempt at a little Bauhausy stuff. And I use the travel notebook, so I can pull this out and work on it. And so I've got 2 bands here. And this is the stencil. I bought the stencil. I tell you, I went all in, probably way too in, but sometimes you don't, you just go all in. More stuff here, and then a couple of stamps, and then a second journal. And again, these pages are pretty much, I could probably, another envelope, scrap mail, a junk mail envelope that I just covered in glued Bauhaus stuff on it. And there's an envelope here. And there's a lot of, so I could fill this up with a lot of those bits and pieces that I have, but I don't know, I just don't know. It just.
Well, I guess we'll have to see what the new year brings for all your spare parts.
Oh, man.
Another journal could come out of everything you have left over from all of the journals you've created.
Oh, man. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's kind of like I don't know. There's enough, obviously, to make another journal. But, when you get involved in something like this, you just, even actually looking at it now again, I am once again feeling rather overwhelmed. And I've got stuff to put on, but then it gets to a point, am I just sticking stuff in it for the sake of sticking stuff in it? And they think it's pretty complete. There's a lot. I'm going to have to see what Bauhaus. Oh, wow. You have a museum. That's, well, I would love to. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, speaking of Bauhaus is still, there are Bauhaus, around in Europe, because my beloved friend Lina sent me some Happy Mail, and in the Happy Mail was this. And I totally flipped out. Now, this is, you ready? This was in the Happy Mail that she sent me.
That's so cool, isn't it?
Isn't that, I just blew my mind. So, I'm still speechless. It is a stick. It's not, I thought maybe, it was a painter stick, but here it is, Bauhaus. And many of you know that Lina's in Denmark. And Bauhaus is still around. And I guess there are Bauhaus, I don't want to say department stores. And someone on YouTube, on Google, that someone said is Bauhaus like IKEA. And yeah, no, Shelley, she just recently sent this to me. Yeah. No, I just got this recently. I would say in the last
couple of months.
The last month or so ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, very recently. She sent this to me because she must have I don't know whether maybe did I show this? I don't recall showing this. Not this size audience, but she must have seen this, or I must have talked about it. But she knew I was into Bauhaus. And all right, Angie, take care. I hope you feel better. Yeah, Lina's in here.
Happy New Year, Angie.
She's rolling on the floor laughing. I knew you would be. This is just.
Hi, Lina.
Yeah, this was pretty. Yeah, pretty amazing to receive this. So, thank you, Lina, once again for amazing. Oh, Lina, I mean, Lina sends you mail. Oh my gosh, Lina sends the most amazing mail. I still have the envelope that you sent me after I created my game. Where in the world is my package? Lina, oh my gosh, Lina put together an envelope that was so derogatory to the Danish postal system that her husband said to her, "Do you really think that that's going to go through the mail?" So then she had to put it in another envelope. Oh my gosh, we laughed so hard. I made a game. I don't know how long ago did I make that game? A long time ago. It seems like a long time ago.
It seems like a long time ago. Was this year though?
And it was a spoof on, where in the world is where in the world is Carmen Miranda?
Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen Sandiego, right? Not the lady with the bananas on her head. I said Carmen Miranda. Yes, I have no bananas. I have no bananas today. And she sent me, oh my gosh. If I have that, I don't have it handy. I put it, Lina, I put it in the safe.
If she digs it out tomorrow and she finds it tomorrow, we'll show it tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because it's hysterical. Because she's got every well, in my game, in the game, I have every conceivable roadblock that could screw up your package. But we actually played it. We played it, and it was a very interesting group of us that played it.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was
myself, Carol, Teresa Church,
Mrs. Gigi,
and Mrs. Gigi. Now, what an eclectic group of people. Mrs. Gigi ended up winning. And I'll have to, yeah. And then we had some really good suggestions on how to improve it. Here's an example of a typewriter that Aliverti. That, you remember Aliverti brand of typewriters from way back when? I think I had an Aliverti typewriter.
I had a brother.
No, this is an Aliverti manual typewriter, but this was a Bauhaus design. Again, I was printing out some examples of some of their stuff. And then geometric, and they were into geometrics. The one guy just painted squares, just squares. Various different. Oh wow! Well, some of these. I mean, these are are worth like a fortune. And if you guys are tired of Bauhaus, I can move on to. Here's Bauhaus wallpaper. They were into wallpapers. Let me show you some of the fabrics. Oh wow! This is.
You could also do another flip of your Alice book for those that are new to your channel as well.
Really?
Oh, you can if you don't want to.
No, I haven't. This guy, he taught colors and he just painted squares. How cool is this? I could paint squares. You could paint squares. Any of us could paint squares. It's amazing. This stuff, look, basic colors. I just wanted to show you. Now, that's a tea infuser. I don't know whether I would go that far for a tea infuser, but again, it was practical appliances, right? let me. Now I don't know whether I put a baby in that, but that's the Bauhaus cradle. That's kind of sketchy. It wouldn't pass any of the baby regulations now to be something safe to put a baby in. I could, yeah, well, a crooked square. Well, he did a whole thing with just rectangles. Now, I'm gonna. Carol is very kind. I am gonna go get the Alice if you don't mind.
No, you go right ahead. That's her books are just top notch. Like, I have seen so many beautiful books. There are so many journals that everybody's done, but I have never seen somebody put so much detail and actual depth. You have to actually look through each and every single page because she has so many flips and openings and little secret pockets and pictures. She puts so much of her heart and soul into her journals. It is amazing. And I know we all do, but these are above and beyond. You have to admit her journals are like one of a kind. They are just fabulous. I love them. And I really love her Alice in Wonderland book. So yes, I did want her to do another flip.
Well, this is interesting. The reason why I finally ended up with over 500 subscribers was Dee Dee again. Thank you, Dee Dee. Was showing an Alice. She was doing one of her smaller journals with Alice. And Becky said to Dee Dee, "Oh, Lahr has done an Alice journal." And Dee Dee was kind enough to, I guess, put my link in. And at that point, I think I was hovering at like 498 subscribers. And the next thing you know, I was over 500. So thank you, Dee Dee and Becky and everyone else out there. So this was, is that better? Can't really. This design that I used was from the Bohemian Crafting, and it was a journal. It was a journal that she had designed as a wedding album, and I converted the wedding album into my Alice journal. And this material here is from none other than my neighbor up north, BethSchuler. She sent me this Alice stuff. And again, I did buy a digi kit for Alice. So she's on one of these little thingies here. So she's going down the rabbit hole. She's going down the rabbit hole. She starts off the afternoon and she's with her sister, and the sister is reading a boring book and she falls asleep. And she goes down the rabbit hole. And this all of this is manila folders. And then again, it's just a lot of things. I love using magnets. I love the sound of magnets. So this is a magnet. This opens. I have a lot of journaling spots. Not that anybody would journal in it. I don't know how I can best show this. Again, this is a monster, but journal. Listen to the magnet. Ready? Hear it? I love it. Little magnets. I love that. So I have a lot of stuff that opens. And again, if you're familiar with Ava, the Bohemian crafter, she is a big flippy flopper. She's got things that open and very interactive. And I just love, the play of this. The journaling spot. And then when Alice, this is a kind of like a Gothic Alice that I found. And this is, I have like a digi die cut that's kind of a film strip thing. So I made a copy of this. And then if you've ever used Google Drawings, you can put a photograph in Google Drawings and you can create a negative. So I created a negative and stuck that in there. And these are some other illustrations from other Alice books. And this opens up and this comes out. And again, picture this as a wedding album and people sticking pictures from a wedding. But I have pictures of Alice instead. And then this opens up this way. And then here again, Alice opens up again, the Gothic Alice, which is kind of interesting. So there's a lot of stuff that opens and closes. Here is the transit map. It looks like a London transit map, but the Looking Glass Land transit map. And I've got various things again. This opens like so. And then we have the famous Drink Me. You know, I always think of the Jefferson Airplane. One pill makes you smaller, one pill makes you larger. And the White Knight is coming. And again, some other stuff here. And then this opens. And this opens. This comes down here like so. And then this opens like so. Again, there's a lot of interactive stuff in here. Now, the funny story about this is many of the people that I hang out with had watched me build this over a fairly long period of time. And my good friend Nettie loved it. And she said to me, "You've got to bequeath this to me. You've got to bequeath this to me." And we were in my craft and chat room and I had an appointment with an estate lawyer. And I said, I have an appointment. I'll be back. And that's how that room is. People come and go all day. So I left and went to the estate attorneys to set up a trust fund, right? And the guy says to me, and this is just after I had talked to Nettie that morning, he said to me, "Is there anything you want to bequeath to anybody?" I burst out laughing and he looked at me and I was laughing and I said, no. But in my mind, I'm hearing Nettie saying, "I want you to bequeath the Alice to me." And so it was just the timing of that was just priceless. So this is a part of the story. And so I typed out, quotes from this part of the story. And then I got to a point where I was trying to put it in chronological order. So this goes over here. And this is when the fish and the frog meet, and there's a message there. And then, of course, she meets the smoking caterpillar. And this opens up like so. Or like so. I don't even remember, folks, because it's been a while. And then this is like another flip. Different artists. Whoops, I'm sorry. Different artists from different periods of time. I have the annotated Alice, which is a beautiful book. It was like an anniversary edition, and it's got the whole on either side of the text. It's annotated, and it has all this history and all this information about the story. And Dobson, the guy that wrote it, he was a math professor, and Alice was the neighbor's girl. Kind of just a tad creepy. Just saying, just a little creepy. Maybe not. I don't know. And then here's the dog, the little dog. And then some more, again, more interactive stuff that opens. "You're mad, bonkers, completely off your head. But I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are." And that's a quote from Alice. Actually, that's from the Cheshire Cat. That's a quote from the Cheshire Cat. "We're all mad here, aren't we?" I think so. I kind of feel that way, right? We're all mad here. Again, we're all mad here. And then again, some more, tags and things that open and close, postcards. And again, this takes time. It was fun. Here's the Cheshire Cat. I made a Cheshire Cat paper clip. Another thing that opens, and this comes down like so. And I love this cat. This cat I love this cat. Isn't that a great? Oh, I love that dude. That is evil. And of course, when you put this all back together again, you see this ties that to hold that down. And again, we're all mad here. And this is, all right, this here is a Kleenex box. But this opens this way, right? This opens this way. This opens this way. And then I have my big pop-up. I hope it still opens. Ta-da! It's the tea party.
That is so cool.
Let me see if I can't tip this up so you can see it. There. It's just a pop-up. And whoa. You stay up here. You fall down here. There's a magnet here too. I don't know if you can hear it. Ah, I love that sound. That goes here. That goes here. That goes here. That goes there. There. Woo! And then this, again, a lot of things that open. Journal spots. What's in here? Opens. There's just a lot of fun in it. This is just one of those things you can just kind of mess with and kind of go through and open. Did that open? Nope. Oops, I don't know. And other cards. And there's the tea party again. And there's the Queen of Hearts off with her head. And they have this trial. And of course, Alice is found guilty. And Alice is going, oh, wait a minute. How can I be guilty? I haven't been charged with anything. And everyone's afraid to say anything. And then she finally speaks up. And stick this in here. Let's see, this comes out here like so. Like so. That goes here. That's another one of these flippy, with acetate in there, and that would tie up here like so. Everything's got a moral, only if you can find it. I love that quote. That's just, everything's got a moral, only if you can find it. So here's some more. This is the Mock Turtle story. So I tried to, at this point, I'm trying to follow the book. And then you have the lobster quandrel. And so I made these. These are actual photographs from the book that I took a picture with my iPhone, and then transferred the picture to Google Drawings. And then from Google Drawings, I was able to size it and print it out. And here we have, this kind of opens up, and this is kind of the end where she's, who stole the tarts? And remember, she's accused of stealing the tarts. And she throws all the cards up in the air. And let the jury consider their verdict, the king said for about the 20th time that day. No, said the queen. Sentence first, verdict afterwards. Stuff and nonsense, said Alice loudly. The idea of having the sentence first. Hold your tongue, said the queen, turning purple. I won't, said Alice. Off with her head, the queen shouted at the top of her voice. Nobody moved. Who cares for you, said Alice. She had grown to her full size by this time. You're nothing but a pack of cards. At this, the whole pack of cards rose up in the air, came flying down upon her. She gave a little scream, half of fright and half of anger, and tried to beat them off. Found herself lying on the bank with her head in the lap of her sister, who was gently brushing away some dead leaves and that had fluttered down from the tree. Wake up, Alice, dear, said her sister. Why, such a long nap you had. So that's the end of the story. There. The end. Boom. Thank you so much for suffering through. That's about all I've got. And, I have no qualms ending early. Everyone was like having a, very nervous about ending early. Unless anybody has any questions, that's about it. I know it's getting late and some of us have been here.
And I finished my page.
Let me see. Let us show us. Let me exit full. Takes me a couple.
12:31.
Right, come on, exit full. Right, and I can drag you over. Ta-da!
And there we go. The wings of change.
Ooh! Oh, I love it. That is gorgeous.
All the wings. The dragonflies are taking out all the 2022 and inputting 2023.
Great. Wonderful. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Now,
thank you for having me with you tonight. And thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you for being with me. I so appreciate you. And I'm going to sign off early, and that'll give everybody a good stretch and a good break.
Get your drinks ready in hand.
That's right, because you know who's up. Miss Snark herself. Miss Snark of 2020, 2020, 21, 22, and 23. Get your scavenger hunt, instincts and eyes on. This will be my 3rd year of doing the scavenger hunt. And it's, oh my gosh, if you've never done it, it is so much fun. And you know what? If you don't finish it, it doesn't matter. Just have fun. And that, I know that is Janet's number one command.
There is no rules. There is no rules.
Just have fun. So thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Yep. Take care, everybody. And as my mother always said, if you can't be careful, if you can't be good, be careful. I'm sorry, that was it. If you can't be good, be careful. Good night, all. Thank you so much. And there's Janet's link right there. Thank you.
Bye everybody.
End broadcast. Okay.